Hello, my name's Tristan Hiron, and I'm a senior at San Diego State. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about my volunteer trip to Napoli, Italy. In the summer of 2017, I volunteered for 2 weeks to teach English in Napoli. As soon as I landed in the airport of Napoli, I was picked up and escorted to my housing and where I was going to stay, which was provided through the IVHQ program. The name of the street that I lived on was called Via de la Sapienza 18, and this was a picture taken right in front of our housing in the long alley. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any pictures of the school setting or pictures with any of the students because of strict rules of the volunteer program, but I was able to find a picture online, and this looks closely similar to the placement that I was at. But in regards to the most meaningful experience I had, I definitely have to say it was with the children and teaching them English. In Napoli, it was very low income society or low income area. It was, you could definitely tell it kind of looked like the slums. There's a lot of graffiti, a lot of trash. It was kind of dirty. It just didn't seem like this was a wealthy area, and I definitely have to say it makes sense why they put volunteer programs in places like this. Like, I definitely know the wealthy places would probably be in Venice or in Florence in Italy, but somewhere in Napoli in Italy is definitely, you could definitely tell how low income it is compared to those other areas. And that's why I definitely think I made a more meaningful impact, because I was placed at an after school program because I went during the summer and school wasn't in session. And this was a program for children that their parents wanted them to go into like some sort of activity and be able to learn English rather than living on the streets and trying to go find work they could possibly make a career and hopefully use English. An interesting difference that I observed while traveling and just being located in Napoli, Italy, was the use of the metro system. I think it was very important. I remember I would have to take the metro to arrive to my placement, and I would rely on this to make it to work on time and not be late, because I remember they would get mad if you'd arrive late. And I just think it was very important in general for this country, because there's just regular people just taking the train to wherever they live, or they needed transportation to the grocery store or work. And I just thought it was just a useful and interesting tool compared to America. Another interesting difference between Italy and America was restrooms. I remember it was very hard to find restrooms just out when you were out and about walking. And the frustrating part was, if you did happen to find a restroom, they would charge anywhere between 0.50 and 0.80 euro to use the restroom. And to be quite honest, it would get me a little frustrated, because it's just a natural human being process, and everyone's got to use the restroom at times, but it's okay. It's something you had to deal with, and I just got used to it. But I remember at first I was a little upset, but couldn't do nothing about it. And the last interesting difference I noticed between Italy and America was water. I remember when I went out in Naples, it was very humid and extremely hot, and having water with you was essential. But there was no walking into McDonald's or anywhere and asking for a water cup and filling up at the water station. They didn't have that. Unfortunately, they charged for water, and that also frustrated me because I love water. But I found out a little sneak key, and later found out that if you ask for tap water, then they give it to you for free. So I comfortably went by with the rest of my trip knowing that in my head, and was able to pull it off and get water. But I remember at first that also did get me a little frustrated, because I know in the US you could just ask for water cups and basically drink some water. And based off these differences, I was able to learn that everywhere is different, and to be quite honest, not everywhere is gonna look or behave how we look and behave in the US. It's just basically like a whole nother world out there in Italy based off these differences. I learned a few things about Napoli when I was there. I was told that Napoli made, or that was the first city where they invented pizza. I also know that they are the third most populated city in Italy behind Milan and Rome. And I would like others to know that the spaghetti deal is real and it tastes amazing there. And the pizza is very good too. I just think it tastes so pure and real. The tomato just stands out a lot. That was my favorite part about the pizza. The tomato sauce was super good. Have to try it one day. I think having a global perspective is important because you're just able to learn and recognize the importance of many things and just a different perspective, just ideas and learning from others. You'll just be able to create opportunities for yourself in the future because maybe this won't be encountered in America. Maybe you'll just encounter it in certain parts of the world, and just having that knowledge with you is good to carry on for the rest of your life. I then think that just having a global perspective will further influence how we do health because let's say one day one country establishes a cure for a certain disease, or one country encounters an outbreak in a certain disease and eventually they find the cure. We then know the importance of that because we're able to learn from it and just expand our knowledge in health and be able to expand our products and shots and vaccinations, everything like that. We're just able to be up to date and be the best we can for health. Finally, my take home message was just to enjoy life and just appreciate what you have because some people don't have it. I remember just walking around, you could definitely tell it was dirty in the slums, but I definitely felt this their culture, that was their lifestyle, that's how they lived. And just in regards to the kids that would teach English, their parents would try so hard to place them in programs to where they stay out of trouble. Just like how we have after school programs in the United States to play sports or anything like that. Their parents would try to place their children in schools so where they don't get out of violence, where they don't have to work in the streets, to where they can have another language and use English to find their way out and hopefully one day use that to their advantage. Just honestly just appreciating everything I have. That's what my take home message from my experience traveling to Italy. Another, I just wanted to point out something interesting and creative I did with using English was just incorporation of sports or just high activity level. By using English, I would just use words that incorporated a certain term in soccer or a certain term in basketball, and we go out and we play and we do the activity and they just have fun. It wasn't just sitting in the classroom learning word by word. I would use sports as a creative and unique way to teach English and just being outside in the outdoor. And finally, I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. And once again, my name was Tristan Hiron, and this was about my volunteer trip to Napoli, Italy, and teaching English out there. I'm sure you guys were wondering why there weren't a lot of pictures from my phone or why I didn't incorporate pictures I took. It was unfortunate during the first few days, one of the girls in our volunteer program's phone was stolen while walking out in the streets of Napoli, and after that, the volunteer program just made that aware to us. So sometimes I may have not felt comfortable taking out my phone in public and kind of did it more in just the touristy places. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys why I wasn't able to include visuals that I took personally. Thank you.